Space was silent, a vast, dark canvas only broken by the soft hum of the star Swift. The ship cut through the galaxy like a silver arrow, a silent promise of adventure. On the bridge, Captain Nina's fingers danced across the control panel, her brow furrowed in concentration. Her inseparable friend, Zog, floated weightlessly near the main viewport, spinning lazily in his personal gravity field. He was a creature of 3 blue eyes, each blinking in a different rhythm, always curious, always a little cautious. "We've got an alert," Zog, Nina announced, her voice cutting through the quiet hum. The calm expression on her face was replaced with a focused frown. Zog stopped his spin, his 3 eyes swiveling to look at her. "Alert!" he chirped, his voice a series of melodic tones. "I hope it's not another boring comet. Seriously, Nina, I am so tired of dodging space rocks. It's like the universe is just throwing path of fun Nina Chukledherta to life." The alert wasn't a comet. An image began to form, shimmering with an ethereal light. It was a crystal, multifaceted and glowing from within, casting a brilliant, glittering light across the bridge. "That's no space rock, Zog. That's a stellar crystal." Zog floated closer. "Yewa, the stellar crystal. The one from the old star charts, the one they said was lost for centuries." Nina nodded. "The very risam. Legend says it has the power to restore life to devastated planets, to bring back entire ecosystems from the brink. This was more than just an alert. It was a call to action." But as the coordinates appeared below the image, a new layer of complexity was added. "There's a problem," Nina said, her voice dropping slightly. "It's located in the Nebulan Belt." Zog's cheerful demeanor deflated. "Oh, not the Nebulan Belt. The sector filled with those wicked plasma storms and space pirates." He shuddered, his gelatinous body wobbling. "That place is a cosmic nightmare." Nina's eyes, however, sparkled with a familiar fire. She gripped the ship's helm, her knuckles white. A wide grin spread across her face. "Then it's adventure time." Zog let out a long, theatrical sigh, a sound he'd perfected over their many years together. But as he looked at Nina's determined face, he couldn't hide the small smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. "If you insist, Captain," he said, trying to sound reluctant. "But I'm choosing the route, and I'm choosing the safest one." The Star Swift changed course, heading for the swirling, colorful chaos of the Nebulan Belt. As they crossed the threshold, the universe outside the viewport transformed. The calm darkness was replaced by a magnificent, dangerous light show. Streaks of plasma, lightning, in shades of electric pink, vibrant purple, and dazzling blue illuminated the ship, casting dancing shadows across the bridge. The ship shuddered with each nearby discharge. Zog, despite his earlier bravado about choosing the safe route, was holding onto a console for dear life. "Are you sure this was a good idea, Nina?" he squeaked, his 3 eyes blinking rapidly. "This is less adventure and more get-disintegrated-in-glorious-burst-of-light, single quotes." Nina was in her element. She performed a series of daring maneuvers, her hands a blur on the controls. The Star Swift rolled, dipped, and weaved through the labyrinth of charged gas clouds and floating asteroid chunks. It was a deadly ballet, and Nina was its masterful choreographer. Just a little cosmic turbulence, Zog. Think of it as a dance. She shouted over the roar of a nearby storm. Suddenly, the ship's proximity sensors screamed a warning. Red lights flashed across the console. On the screen, a new threat emerged from the nebulous haze of pirate ships. Their vessels were sharp and angular, painted a menacing black that absorbed the nebula's light. They looked like blades ready to carve the Star Swift to pieces. "Brace yourself, Zog," Nina yelled, her voice tense. The pirate ships opened fire, green energy bolts streaking towards them. Nina pushed the engines to their limit, dodging the first volley, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. Just as a pirate vessel closed in for a finishing blow, something unexpected happened. Zog, who had been trembling just moments before, shot forward. His face was set with a surprising determination. "Not on my watch. You space bullies." He slammed a large, glowing button on his console. The quantum bubble launchers activated. Instantly, the space around the star Swift filled with shimmering, soap-like bubbles. But these were no ordinary bubbles. They warped light and energy, creating phantom illusions of the star Swift. The pirates' sensors went haywire, trying to target dozens of non-existent ships. Confused and blinded, they swerved to avoid the phantom images, crashing directly into each other in a series of muffled, distant explosions. The remaining pirates, bewildered and outmaneuvered, turned tail and fled back into the depths of the nebula, leaving the star Swift free. Nina looked at Zog, her eyes wide with astonishment and pride. "Zog, that was incredible." "The quantum bubble launches," Zog preened, doing a little victory spin. "Well, you're not the only one with a few tricks up their sleeve, Captain." "Sometimes, the best defense is a good bit of confusing, bubbly chaos." Nina laughed, a relieved, joyful sound that filled the bridge. "You were incredibly brave, my friend." With the pirates gone, they continued deeper into the heart of the nebula. The storms began to subside, giving way to a strange, serene calm. And there, in the center of a pocket of clear space, it floated, the stellar crystal. It was even more magnificent than the image had suggested, suspended in the void, surrounded by a soft, golden aura that shone like 1,000 suns. Its light was warm and inviting. Nina carefully maneuvered the star Swift closer. She activated the ship's transport capsule, a beam of light designed to retrieve objects. She reached out her hand as if she could touch the crystal from the bridge. But as the transport beam neared it, the crystal started to move on its own, dodging the beam, floating playfully just out of reach. "What's happening?" Nina murmured, confused. "Why won't it let us take it?" Zog floated beside her, his 3 eyes studying the crystal intensely. A look of realization dawned on his face. "Nina, look, it's not running away. It's testing us." He pointed a wobbly appendage at the ancient texts he'd pulled up on his screen. "The legends say the crystal has a consciousness. It only reveals its true power and allows itself to be held by those with pure intentions, those with courage and kindness in their hearts." Nina looked from the screen to the glowing gem. She understood. This wasn't something to be taken. It was a gift to be earned. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes for a moment, and focused her thoughts. She thought of all the worlds they had seen, the planets scarred by war or disaster, the people who had lost their homes. She thought of the hope this crystal could bring. She opened her eyes, stretched out her arms wide, not in an act of taking, but of welcome. Her voice was clear and steady, echoing slightly in the quiet of the bridge. "We are not here to claim you for glory or power," she said, speaking directly to the crystal. "We promise to use this power to protect the galaxy, to heal what is broken, and to bring light to the darkest corners." A profound silence followed her words. Then, the stellar crystal responded. Its golden aura pulsed, growing brighter and brighter, until it bathed the entire bridge in a warm, brilliant light. It seemed to recognize the sincerity in the captain's heart. With a gentle grace, the crystal stopped its dance and glided, smoothly, towards the ship. It passed through the hull as if it were water and entered the transport capsule, which closed around it. The moment it was secured, an incredible wave of pure, clean energy washed through the Star Swift. The ship's lights glowed brighter, the engines hummed with a newfound strength, and the very air seemed to crackle with life. Zog let out a joyful whoa as he spun in the air, his body shimmering with reflected light. "I can feel it, Nina. It's like the whole ship just drank a gallon of sunshine juice." With the stellar crystal safely aboard, a new chapter of their journey began. Captain Nina and her brave, bubbly companion Zog set a new course. They were no longer just explorers or adventurers. They were carriers of hope, heading toward the most distant and desperate planets in the galaxy. They knew the journey ahead would be long and filled with new challenges. But as they looked at the glowing crystal and then at each other, they also knew that together, with courage, kindness, and a good dose of bubbly chaos, there was absolutely nothing that could stop them. The star Swift surged forward, a silver arrow now carrying the light of 1,000 suns. Thank you so much for watching this adventure. If you enjoyed our journey through the Nebulan Belt, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more cosmic tales with Captain Nina and Zog. We'll see you on the next mission.